With Star Ocean: The Second Story R around the corner from being released, you might be wondering if you need to play Star Ocean First Departure in order to follow what's happening in Star Ocean: The Second Story. Or maybe you're wondering, hey, I want to jump into this series head first. Which games do I play? What order do I play them in? Maybe you want to know what the release order is for these games, or maybe you want to know what is the intended order to play them in, or maybe the chronological order. Well, today we're going to cover everything you actually need to know before playing Star Ocean 2, as well as cover some brief staples of the series to catch you up to speed. But before we jump into it, I'm Solace, this is Solace and Dread. We produce analytical content as well as reaction videos, primarily focused on Square Enix, Nintendo, and Capcom publications. Be sure to follow us over on Twitter if you want a chance to potentially win a copy of Star Ocean: The Second Story R on PS4. Yeah, I bought an extra one, and I don't need it, so I'm just going to give it away. And if you enjoy content regarding Star Ocean or any of the adjacent content to the topics we mentioned before, feel free to subscribe. The giveaway will be shortly after the game releases. So let's not beat around the bush. Do you need to play First Departure before playing Second Story? The answer? Absolutely not. I mean, honestly, they recap everything you need to know in the first 30 seconds of the game on Claude's playthrough. Should you play it? Of course. In fact, I'm always going to encourage people to play Star Ocean games. At the time of making this, they're on PlayStation's Pass, and then a bunch of them are discounted on the PlayStation Shop, so why not? But ultimately, no, you don't need to play Star Ocean 1 in order to follow the story of Star Ocean 2. While they are all in the same connected universe, the Star Ocean games provide you with any needed exposition pretty quickly. In fact, a very large portion of the fan base probably got their first exposure to Star Ocean in Star Ocean 2, since that was the first one to be released outside of Japan. All you absolutely need to know is that Claude is the son of Ronyx and Ilia, who are two of the Deuterogonists from the first game. That's pretty much it. What you do miss out on by not playing Star Ocean 1 before you play Star Ocean 2 is understanding just who Claude's father is as a character, as he does have a fairly substantial role in Star Ocean 2. I'm going to take a few minutes and cover that character and how he impacted the story in Star Ocean 1. Because while he was not the main character in First Departure, he was most certainly the best of them. So, who is Ronyx? Ronyx was born on Earth and graduated from the Pan-Galactic Federation's academy. He's a descendant of Stephen Lightspeed Kenny, the first human to ever break the speed of light and arguably one of the most influential people in space exploration. At some point, Ronyx got married, but his marriage did not last long as his wife died of an illness. This burden of his wife's death would weigh on his shoulders throughout the duration of his journey, a journey that would one day mirror his son's journey, as he too broke the underdeveloped Planet Preservation Pact to save a race of people that he saw needed help. Pledging himself to singlehood, he wouldn't consider a new relationship of the sort until he met science officer Ilia Silvestri. When he was named captain of the starship Countess, Ilia became his second in command. He has the leadership qualities that you would ever look for in a leader, being the wizened, level-headed one in the group. During your journey, he's the one that talks with the royal figures that you obtain audiences with the most. He's the one that actually aligns them with aiding you in achieving the goal of your quest, for it's his actions and efforts that actually drives the majority of the plot. Roddick, conversely, is a main character player insert, and you're more so along for the ride. Ronyx is the brains of the group. He's the responsible one, even opting for sobriety on a night that everyone decided to celebrate and get drunk, all to make sure that his party was safe and accounted for. Over the course of the game, he actually has better character development than the main character, or most of the characters for that matter. And without getting into spoiler territory, he shows a level of complexity not often seen in JRPGs of this era. He's still learning and adapting, being dutiful and stern, yet gentle when he wants to be. And it's pretty fun to watch the blossoming relationship between him and Ilia. Speaking of, Ilia, Claude's mother, does not make an appearance in Star Ocean 2, but she is mentioned and referenced, particularly in his battle quotes.
Meteor! Palm! Meteor! Palm!
Palm of destruction! Meteor! Palm!
Well, I'd say that's worth 10 out of 10.
Well,
was
I'd
way
say
too
that's
fast.
worth 10 out of 10.
It's a cute little Easter egg. Ronyx's journey led him to travel through time, break international law, and be the primary force in saving an entire race of people and beyond, all while making new relationships and learning to work with people from a culture he had never known but had to blend into, adapting to their ways. The fact is, despite his being a stickler for the rules in Star Ocean 2, Ronyx did exactly what Claude is doing when he was Claude's age, which should further aid to the complexity of this character. And with your limited scope of him in Star Ocean 2, it might be difficult to see that importance, so it could change your view of him. That's not to say that you need to play it first, as I didn't have a chance until the first one was remade and released stateside, but if you enjoy 2, I highly recommend going back and learning about Ronyx and his plucky band of characters the first chance you get. As far as the other Star Oceans, the other games might be self-contained stories, but like I said before, they do expand the lore of that universe. The chronological order for the games is Star Ocean: The Last Hope, then Star Ocean: First Departure, Star Ocean: The Second Story, Star Ocean: Blue Sphere, Star Ocean: Integrity and Faithlessness, Star Ocean: Anamnesis, Star Ocean: The Divine Force, and lastly Star Ocean: Till the End of Time. So to order them numerically, that would be 4, 1, 2, 5, 6, 3, with Blue Sphere and Star Ocean Anamnesis being spin-offs. As far as a very brief surface level understanding of the relationship that the other games might have with Star Ocean 2, Star Ocean: The Last Hope is the initial journey into space for the human race, and has very strong ties to Star Ocean 1. It's also got the strongest examples of the importance of the Underdeveloped Planet Preservation Pact. Star Ocean: First Departure tells you everything you would want to know about Claude's father, as well as his mother, and maybe a few references like certain spells and techniques that carry into the second game. Star Ocean: Integrity and Faithlessness involves a plot that's, well, eerily similar to First Departure, and it even involves a descendant of Claude and Ronyx. So does Star Ocean 6, with another descendant, and several callbacks to previous games. Some subtle, some not so much. Until the End of Time exists as a game. My feelings about Star Ocean: To the End of Time aside, all of these games are enjoyable in some way, and the series has a very cult-like following, but we are all very happy to explain everything that we know and feel about the Star Ocean games, and there's a lot to know and a lot that the games don't tell you, particularly in the gameplay. So if you're interested in playing the other games, I can't stress enough, really try them. They're a lot of fun, and they're 100% worth your time and money. So they're really fucking good, and we really enjoy talking about this series. So buy it, play it, talk about it with us. But yeah, if you want to, in fact, if you want to do that, again, like I said, follow us on Twitter, join our Discord, subscribe to the channel, all of those things. We do talk a lot about Star Ocean and a bunch of other games, but yes, Star Ocean, and that's it from me. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon, and long live the Turtle Kingdom.